Bam! Once again, it's your boy, JLM, and this is your wake-up call. Hey, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. Guys, today we have got an amazing guest, David Contreras. This guy's into real estate. He's a big entrepreneur, and he is helping the youth fulfill the goals of tomorrow. So let's give a big round of applause for David Contreras. David, how you doing, my man?
Man, fantastic, Mario. I didn't know you were in the bat cave, man, off the grid way back here, bro.
Well,
cool.
You know, they say a lot of top level people started off in the garages. So I mean, I'm trying to get there. You know.
Yeah, you're right. HP, all those cats.
Yeah. It kind of shakes everybody. They don't understand where they're at until they get here, and then when they leave, you're walking out into the bright light.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Man,
good stuff.
I am glad to have you here, man. How's life been treating you?
Thank you, Mario. That's great. It's going very well, man. Very excited about today and the future. You know, just things look bright. We're looking the moves we're making toward, you know, some of the projects we have in motion, man. They're lining up. So yeah. I'm a happy man.
Yeah. You know, man, we've talked on different occasions, and you know, for the fans and the listeners, I mean, we met in our church out on Shoreline, and
yeah.
Man, we've always had good conversations and good talks.
Yes.
Met through some friends of mine, and man, it's always been great. And it just seems like every time we get together, you've got just some amazing stories to share. So when I really found out who you were and what you're all about, and we started talking, and we got this little thing going, and I was like, man, this guy, I got to get him in here, and man. So we built this show on one specific thing, and that is the wake up call, and it was an idea that my partners came up with, and it's just been phenomenal. And we've had some really interesting people on, and they've shared some stuff. And when me and you sit down, we always have good laughs. Some we can share, some we can't. But life is great. And welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
Life is blessed, man. Life is very blessed these days. But I love the concept of your show. I think it's so powerful. I think it's what people need to hear today, man. Real life stories.
We don't have any filters, and we don't sugarcoat it. So when the people come in, they let everybody know what's going on. We've all had our wake up calls, and we've all missed them quite a few times.
Man.
We can help folks share their wake up calls with others, help them cultivate things, and just get out there and smile and know that there's a better life, there's a better way.
I love that.
We've made some progress.
That word cultivate, that's a powerful
there
word.
There it is.
I love that.
The magical questions, though, are always, what was your wake-up call? What was life before the wake-up call?
Okay.
And then I'm sure you'll let us know what's going on today, so hey.
Yeah, okay. Well, the wake-up call was right around 25 years of age. Now, maturity is not a number. Maturity is development and growth. And my wake-up call was 2 months shy of my 25th birthday. And, I had this epiphany event take place in my life. But what led to that, where I was at that moment, I had a 10-year addiction, abuse of drugs. I grew up in a single-parent home. Tragedy, trauma, man, that can really rock your world and take you to another place, I got on a path of least resistance, and with my homeboys, you and I talked about this, Mario, is that my aunts would say, David, tell me who your friends are, and I will show you who you are.
Wow.
I'm like, man, what the
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah, and what does that crap mean? Well, out of my 5 closest friends, 3 would serve time in the Texas prison system.
Sure.
1 would die in a fiery car crash under the influence, and 1 is the reason why I'm sitting here with you today. I had one good one, man. One good guy. But not to say those guys were bad. They were just choices, man. We were making bad choices. So losing my dad young and that trauma, it was really rough trauma. He was killed in our home accidentally. Here's a World War II Korean veteran, fights bloody wars, and he dies in his home. It's crazy. And I was young, and you don't understand all that process. And life changes like boom, like an explosion. Bomb blows up, and then there's just rubble and broken bodies.
It all hit you at once.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And we all get displaced. There's 5 kids. My mom, she gets set back emotionally, and she's dealing with major crap.
Yeah.
And so those early years were rough. And but my mom, she's a fighter. She rebounded, and a year later, we're moving out of the 2-bedroom house into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Great community in North Austin. I was born and raised in the city.
So you started out in Austin.
In Austin, born and raised, man, 100 years ago.
Okay.
It feels like, and so, so things were getting better, but in the '60s it was a different era, okay. And growing up in a white neighborhood with my nice, beautiful tan wasn't appreciated by the
Gotta
dudes.
know how to run, man. You gotta know how to run,
dude. I became such a good athlete because I learned how to put my feet together. And I can do a 1 leap over a 6-foot fence, man. One hand.
Some of us, when we got off the bus, right? The neighborhood bully was standing there, and you had to be able to get it in the fence thing with the Western roll, and then you're like,
exactly.
What are you gonna do now?
Exactly. So it was fun. It was just the way it was in those times, And there's no hate toward any groups. That's the way it was, and that's the way I lived. But it did help me in my football athleticism.
Sure.
And I ran track and so forth. So I had some good things happening in my life. I got to a point where, my older brother and older sister, they married young. Boom, they're out of the house. I'm the oldest kid at the age of 12, the man of the house, right? Mm-hmm. 2 younger siblings, my mom and grandma Maria. Thank God for Maria, man. She fed us beans and tortillas, man. Otherwise, this kid was eating whatever cans I could find of corn.
Barbacoa on Sundays.
Oh, good. That was good stuff. She was amazing. And my mom was working several jobs, to pay for bills and all that stuff. So she's definitely, they're my heroes. These 2 women are phenomenal. Sure. My 2 heroes in life.
Mom and grandma. Always come through.
Always come through, man. But growing up without any guidance, I had no men in my life. I had no mentors. 0. No homies that could guide.
Yeah.
And so got into trouble fast. So I played sports, which helped me for a couple of years. And then I really got pulled by my other homeboys. They started pulling me, and it's my choices, we started doing things we shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
Fighting on the streets and stealing just about everything in sight.
Yeah, you chose sports, I chose bicycles, BMX. So same thing, you're trying to be cool, and then here comes the,
Yeah, man.
You're okay until you start meeting your buddies.
Exactly.
I love my boys too.
Me too. We had a lot of fun, Mario, but man, we made some stupid choices, but the grace of God, they unfortunately got caught up and got pulled. I was spared and went another direction in terms of not going to prison. I was the craziest out of the group, out of all my friends. But they ended up, 3 of them, going to the penitentiary and serving 3 to 5 years, dealing drugs, stealing cars, and so forth. And, we're all part of that world.
Yeah,
It's just the way it was. Now, academically, I was doing good in school because I was playing football, so I had to make my grades. But at one point, I just kind of felt like, man, I got no support at the house. I got nobody. None of my family was coming to the games. What am I doing this for? I love the sport, but I had no support, man. So I just said, F it, man. F it. I don't give a shit.
Nothing at the house.
No. My mom, it's not my mom's fault. She's working, man. She's taking care of.
My dad, he always kept me on a pedestal. But my mom, she's like, when are you going to, blah, blah, when are you going to get something? When are you going to get something done? When are you going to.
Oh, your mom was? Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Dad always kept me up high. The mom was like, she was working, always working. And I had, I came from a split family as well. So
okay, that's a tough environment.
But you always had mom and grandma. That's for sure.
Yeah, they were. At least grandma was there to feed us, man, which was amazing. But I was a skinny kid. Anyhow, get to high school, started making some bad choices, not mistakes, because I was making my choices. Nobody put a gun to my head. I decided to, steal the vehicles, do the drugs, live the crazy lifestyle, and grades were dropping, getting in trouble in school. But I eventually graduated. I did the 5-year plan. I loved high school, but I graduated, and things just kind of went from bad to worse at that point. Once I got out of the house, and then I really got involved in some heavy stuff. With the drugs and the abuse, and it kicked in. And then I had an 800-pound gorilla I couldn't shake, which was the cocaine.
Sure.
That thing rocked my world.
Now all your buddies, in the meantime, they were rocking and rolling. Those were the role models.
Yeah. And so you know, I had some group of friends that were going one direction, another group that were going to college. So you know, I'm kind of in the middle, and I go both. You know, I come in, I dip into here, and I dip over here, and dip in here. Anyway, living in Austin, having a good time, had a good job, but definitely making the bad choices that were taking me nowhere. I was on a I had no direction, no foundation, I had no guidance. It's anything goes, and. Finally, I bounced out of here, moved to Los Angeles, thinking I got to just start again. So at the age of 22, I moved to LA, Santa Monica, with some chick, and
that was me going from Galveston to Austin.
Oh,
College girl.
Oh,
so you know.
Yeah, there you go.
So you make it to California.
To LA, yeah. I got a cool job working in Beverly Hills and stuff, and just living this fun lifestyle, man. But just really no direction. Just all over the map, and really I had no control over emotion. I really didn't know how to navigate circumstances, you know, how to deal with, number one, authority figures and men, especially male authority figures. I couldn't deal with dudes, man, because I didn't grow up with them.
And at 24, 25, you're...
man. So my bosses, you know, we're always having head-on collisions, and always walking out and quitting jobs, and, you know, just all over the map. But finally, so about that couple of years in LA, you know, my drug addiction really got carried away, and my girlfriend would, you know, she'd buy my drugs and so forth, and I came to a place where it's like, okay, where am I? I've got nothing in my life, you know. I'm about to be, at that point, it's about 23, 24. I'm at this age. I have no college degree. I really don't have any really life skills that are transferable at the time, and just really going down on myself. And my one buddy was back in Austin. He had got his girlfriend pregnant, got married, was doing pretty good. And so I thought, man, I'm just move back. I'll just come back home. And I didn't know. When I got back home, my homeboy was there, and he started going to church and that kind of thing. I said, that's cool, man. You're married, man. I'm young. I don't need that stuff. You know, you're married, dude. You got to have some God or something in your life.
Yep.
And anyhow, one thing led to another. I eventually had this epiphany in this event, and it was a spiritual event with God, man. And it was like, and it was the only week I was sober when this happened. That's the irony. Okay. Usually I'm, you know, pretty high throughout the week. But this particular week, I couldn't leave to get my drugs. I busted my foot up and so forth. Anyhow, I ended up going with my best friend. I feel like they kidnapped me and his parents to go to this church event thing. And man, that day was February the 10th, 1984.
That was the day.
My wake-up call, Mario. Wow. My wake-up call.
That was the wake-up call.
Boom. And so I had this encounter with faith, with God. And like, wow, okay, I don't know what this is about. It's very different. It's kind of cool. You know, and I thought I had to get high tomorrow, the next day. But that next day came, and no, I didn't have the urge. The next day, the following day, and so forth. And like, wow, it's been a week. I don't have a desire to get stoned, get high, to get wasted. I didn't feel it. So gradually, you know, I began to pull away from. I pulled away completely from the drug use on that particular day, and then I got involved with a little Mexican church in Montopolis, man, in the hood, that I'd only go buy my drugs from. Now there's a church there that I'm attending with my homeboy, and things start to improve and start taking these baby steps of, you know, taking responsibility for my life. I went back to school. I went to a community college, and I started, you know, trying to get a little bit of an education.
And at this point, are you still at the house?
Yes, I am.
Still at home?
Yes, I am at that point. Just trying to get something going, Mario, you know, some direction for my life. And I thought I'd go into the surgical arena, medicine, but I found out, Mario, blood made me really queasy. So I thought, you know what, this might not work out after all. And I got into ACC and got an electronics certification, worked at an electronics store, and got into the electronics semiconductor world. Eventually I did. But that wake-up call helped to clear my mind about vision, about a direction.
The future.
For the future, man, at 25 years old. So that was very helpful. but I still had a lot of emotional crap in me, dysfunction. The only discipline I ever had in life was when I played sports.
Sure.
That's the only time I was disciplined in my life. Away from sports, my life was just chaos. Just anything goes.
So do you think it was just the structural foundation of the coaches and
Yes.
playing ball? And,
Yes.
Yeah.
And the biggest one for me for coaches was that for the first time I had a male authority that I respected. Right. And yeah, he kicked my ass, but he also affirmed me when I did good things. Mm-hmm. You know, he recognized, good job, David. You're going to be a great athlete. Keep it up. And he would help me improve and get better.
That's
so I had
pushing you.
Yeah, and I had that relationship. It was give and take. Other than having a boss who's always on your ass, you know, kicking your ass.
Father figures.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
So that coach, you know, I think back to this day, I can still remember these coaches, man. That they were the role models in my life, even though they may not have been aware of it. That's what they did for me at that time. So anyhow, so time passed on. I started in the electronics world, and one thing led to another. And that whole time, while I was in that little Mexican church, we had a few guys there that thought, man, we need to do something with the gang situation in East Austin. So there were three major gangs at that time: the EGV, Latin Kings, and the 4th Street gangs. Right. And they're all fighting each other and shooting at each other. And so we thought we'd be proactive and, you know, try to figure out a way, how do we reach these guys? And so we one day went to their turf. And we said, hey, man, we're from the church, man. We're from the church.
Right.
Everybody be cool, man.
Everybody be cool.
We just wanted to see what's going on with you guys. Do you guys play sports? And they're like, yeah. And they said, we play softball. I said, well, cool, let's play some softball, man. We'll have a barbecue. So we're going to build some relationships.
Kind of like the scene in The Longest Yard. You're trying to recruit the guys and you got to play ball with them.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we did. Yeah. So we said, hey, we'll have a game. Got together and started building a relationship with this one particular gang. And then about a week or two later, the APD showed up at our little church and we're like, hey, we're cool, man. We're just, he goes, no, we know you're working with the gangs. We want you to reach out to the other two independently. Wow. And so we started working with them. The dominoes started dropping. There you go. Then we were also working with a halfway house with young boys coming out of Gainesville, you know, getting to the system and trying to get them back into school and so forth. So we were also doing that. So it was about, you know, mentoring and reaching these young guys. So I was now spending my time not using drugs, but reaching back to the community. Trying to build guys up. And so we eventually put together a big tournament with local gangs, and the APD and business owners came and supported us. And then I found out I had a talent, discovered a talent. And I started writing these, what I call plays or dramas. And so I wrote one called Man in the Mirror, which was a drama of a gang lifestyle. And we just mirrored their life. And the dead-end lifestyle it led to, and the pain that it caused, and all the hurt to the community. And here's the cool thing, Mario. The APD brought in each major gang leader and several of the gang members independently in unmarked vans to the church. And we were going to have the drama. And in one particular scene, I'm riding a motorcycle, a Honda Rebel, right up the middle of the aisle of the church. Now, did I tell the pastor I was going to do that? No, because I learned you ask for forgiveness rather than permission. Yeah. But it worked, man. And I'm cruising up the church aisle, man, on my motorcycle. Anyway, it was an amazing event. The gangs came together, and then we were able, after that, to have them sign a 2-year truce to stop the violence and the shooting in East Austin. Yeah, you've talked to me about some of the stuff you've done. It's amazed me, man, because, you know, it's definitely making a difference, you know, and sometimes we got to really get into the mud, so to speak, to be able to get things clean. So true. So yeah, you do. That's where people live, you know, everyday people. Yeah. And eventually, years passed on. My wife and I together at this time, we moved to Washington D.C. She was working for then Governor Bush, and he became the president. And then I got a job with him working for his faith-based and community initiatives program, and it's a national program. So since I had background in the community, you know, I was a deputy director for one of the agencies, and I got to travel the country and see a variety of nonprofits who are really making a difference in different parts of LA and Chicago and Florida, New Mexico. You know, it was amazing. And so I did that for 4 years, and I knew coming back from DC, I would start my own nonprofit, you know, because I learned so much from these groups.
Sure.
And at the time, the president called these kind of groups the armies of compassion, because they work from the ground up, not the top down.
And what age was this?
What year?
What year? What age?
2001 to 2005, and I was 40
Okay.
about that time. Yeah, I'm 100. I'm 109. I told you, man.
Yeah. So, that's amazing because you went from running around in the streets doing cocaine to
Stealing, fighting, all that crap.
an amazing turnaround with recruiting youngsters and putting them in right places.
Yes.
It's a wild story.
And with the gangs, we help them either they join military or we help them go back to school, get GEDs, or find a trade. You know, we try to equip them, so they can be productive and give back and feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
So, so what I did was I took the time I wasted abusing drugs and running the streets and turned that into something positive. I knew what that life was about. I knew the mindset, of limited access, small thinking, poverty mentality. I got that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know how you get there.
That's where we started.
Exactly, right? But you don't have to stay there. And I always say, there's an old saying, cliche, doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody can start anywhere, at any time, at any point. As long as you got a breath, man. You got a breath, Mario.
It's not how many times you hit, it's how you get back up.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can still have a chance. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
once we
yeah.
got back to Texas from Washington, which is another planet, that's a whole different little, that's a
yeah.
world, man. That's just jacked up little planet. Came back home. I started my nonprofit called Launchpad, the Center for Hope and Empowerment. Mm-hmm. And we were able to start in one particular school in Northeast Austin, East Runberg Lane, which is a very challenged part of Austin still to this day. And so I identified we camped in one middle school for 10 years and invested, time, talent, treasure, working with these amazing kids from the age of 11, they're 11 to 14. So I'd get them at 6th grade and get them through the 8th grade to go to high,
Working through.
Yeah, working through. And so my program provided STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, and math. So it'd be like robotics, building robotics, also programming robotics,
Right.
building drones. We were partners with the Austin Film Society. I brought in cordon bleu chefs to teach how to cook, how to be a chef, just a variety of things, all kind of things, sports and so forth. And I taught on living for success twice a week, core values. I had 10 of them: accountability, responsibility, trust. All these 10 that I pulled from the West Point Military Academy.
Okay.
But man, those kids taught me they taught me more.
You'd be surprised, man. You learn. You're learning.
That's right.
It's all a learning experience, yes.
How they're so resilient, man. They have so little, but they make what they have work. And when you put some tools in their hands, Mario, it's amazing they come alive.
Works out.
And we raise the bar. It's like, hey man, the bar is not going to be down here for you. You want it, it's here, but we're going to help you get there. But you got to want it.
So tell me, what kind of things did you do when you were in the school? You put 10 years into the school.
Yes.
With the programming, where did that take you afterwards?
So after all those 10 years, we went from there. After 10 years, I needed a little break from the community, so I started a real estate investment business to purchase homes and flip them and do doors, rental properties. So I've been doing that, and then now I have a commercial property that I'm developing in Liberty Hill, at downtown Liberty Hill, me and my partner. So I've been doing that, but at the same time now we've gone from Launchpad being a nonprofit to a foundation.
Right.
So now the foundation is we're parking at one school, because I really believe in investing in one place. Not, I don't want to be a mile wide and an inch deep. I want to build deep and build up.
Foundations.
Yeah. So we're in one high school in Round Rock. It's for students that can't go to a traditional type of school. So this is a unique school for them to be able to graduate. They have a little more focus from the counselors and so forth, and longer school hours for them to get their work and come to school.
These special need kids or just
No, they're just
kids out in the trouble
They're
world?
like young little Davids, man. That
Got you.
need some
Mario's.
kicking Mario's ass.
Kicking
my
the
ass.
ass.
Let's go, boy.
Kicking the ass, right?
Why you crying? Get your ass up. Let's get to class. Let's go. So we're starting. We started that just recently with the scholarshiping and the mentoring. And here's what's key, Mario. There's a group there. There's a counselor and another life coach, and they have this program. It's a phenomenal program for young men on every Tuesday for those who attend that campus. And so these young men come every Tuesday, and this program just really challenges these young men to, keeps them on track in school and helps them capture a vision for where they want to go.
Sure.
Whatever that might be.
Sure.
And I've mentored there the last couple of years with these young men, but now we want to take it to that next level. So when these people graduate, they kind of just disappear.
Right.
Well, the kids that we scholarship, Launchpad, I'm gonna have, man, you'd be amazing.
You're sticking with them.
A couple of men to help mentor these guys. Meet them once a month.
Okay.
See how they're doing. Accountability. What are you facing?
Yeah.
Anybody can. It's easy to give up, man, and it's a tough world once you leave high school.
It's hard. Before the COVID, we had we had the programs going with Pavilion and stuff, going into the courts and talking to the kids that were sitting on the bench that were waiting to go into the courtrooms.
That's
which
right.
They see you and you've got all the stuff on you, and they, this guy's cool until you start getting on them, going, "What the hell do you think you're doing?"
Exactly.
So if you can keep them from wearing the khakis, then. Fortunately enough, you didn't go. Sometimes you gotta go to learn that important lesson, and I had to learn the lesson. So, but the foundation from that, I believe, it had to be for me to go in and talk to these kids in the courtrooms, or like tonight. Well, it's funny, but you went from point A to point B. Same here. Everybody knows my story. My close friends, kind of just like you. We all grew up with our kids, our friends, our homeboys. Half of them are in jail, half of them died.
Exactly.
Maybe one or two are still around.
Exactly, man.
And then it's kind of crazy because, man, life's funny when you look back. We've all got to go through this period to get us where we're going.
Yeah.
And
well, Mars, but to think about this, here's this kid, troubled kid, no college, but eventually develops a work ethic and comes to a place in life where he changes his trajectory to do some good, and ends up working for a United States president in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
That only happens to certain kind of people that, they're kind of programmed and pedigreed to follow that. But I'm telling you, man, to go from the streets to Washington, D.C., and you're in the Oval Office, I'm like, what the freak is going on? It's an amazing thing.
You don't believe it. I mean, it's
surreal.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hell, I've got a Special Olympics team I train on Wednesdays, which I never ever thought. I always had a dream, man, that'd be so cool. And then through some experiences in my life, those doors kind of open. So when one door closes on you, many will open. But yeah, you never realize how fast things go until they hit you. And then if you take what's put in front of you and you really use it to your goodwill, then things change. But man,
that's so true, Mark. 'Cause I did have some guys come around me like that. Some homies, some older homies, that had wisdom, they had life experience. They've done some crap, and they came back to say, "Hey, David, we're here to help. We can help shape this direction. We can help provide some wisdom and guidance. Some structure. But of course, I was willing. That's the key. You got to be willing, man. Nobody can force you to change.
I had it all down for the first time. then what do they say? You fake it till you make it.
Yes.
Then it comes to the second time. And then,
so true.
And then, yes, I think I had my wake up call, David, when I maybe 365 days before I was going on a special vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, when it hit me, I was just like, whoa. I mean, I already knew where I was going, knew what I had to do, and the light just came on. So
Wow.
sometimes, man, when you really, really hit rock bottom, you have to see that you have to go through the journey. But like you did, you turned it all around. Yeah, for some, we miss a wake up call numerous times, but you're never too old to get it.
That's right. That's good, Mario. Because I'm telling you, had I not got mine at the age of 25,
Yes.
had I not had that, I only had two choices in life. I would have ended up like my homeboys in the penitentiary prison.
Sure.
Or I would not have seen 30 the way my lifestyle was. There's no way I would have made it to the age of 30.
Oh.
Because I was so out of control.
I believe we're blessed. I mean, we shouldn't be sitting here talking to each other. We've talked about that,
No, man.
Yeah.
That's good, Mario. That's why we connect. Because, I mean,
Yes.
you and I we've traveled certain pathways that are very similar in many ways.
Sure.
With a lot of people that can really jack your life up because that's just who they are for whatever reason. But you've made choices, Mario. You've turned it around as well, and now I appreciate what you're doing with the wake up call.
Oh gosh,
man.
and yeah,
That's
you
a
talked to
powerful
me
tool.
about stuff, and then you shared the story with how you met your wife and things you were going through on that, and I was just like, geez, I mean, it's always been around. I mean, you've got the. If you look behind you, she's watching you at all times. You can't get away.
What the heck? What the heck?
She's watching you at all times, so you can't get away, man. So, but yeah, so with the and so tell me about the real estate ventures and stuff that you're doing because it seems like now you're in just a total. You're still in the schools, but you've got various things going.
That's right. So you do have technical in the school, and that's important. And but my current job or my current business allows me to do those things. To have the freedom to go to the schools and mentor these guys. But as we speak right now, I have a house on the market in Austin, man.
Sure.
And I'm looking to really. That's one of my first flips. I'm finally going to put that one. I'm going to sell it here, hopefully in a few days. But I enjoy that. It's. And I'm going to reinvest that in some duplexes and a condo and whatever. You just keep the thing going.
Seems like real estate's where it's going.
Yes.
Seems like it.
I got in at the right time, and now you can get in. It's just it's going to cost you more.
I tell you, I'm kind of like you. I'm narrowing it down to. Really, man. I mean, we're really focusing on. I mean, I do some molding projects with baby products, and then we've got the wake up call. But I'm really focusing on the kids and the the youth.
I love it.
And when you told me you were doing the stuff at the schools, I was really amazed because that's where you got to go. You got to get it at an early age. And right now, with everything going on in our society, I mean, it just seems like things are changing quick.
Fast.
And
I mean, Mario, man, I'm not going to put you on the spot right now, but you'd be incredible with one of my guys, man. I know you got so much going on, but no pressure, brother.
I'm flattered. And honestly, getting you in the box was really an honor. I mean, like I say, anytime we talk, I mean, it's always great. Man, I mean, it's amazing, but we've shared really, really deep stories, and it's incredible that, unfortunately, I believe this. God's made us in His own image, or whoever's made us. Well, God's made us in His own image. When I say that, man, we're some colorful dudes. I mean, for me, man, I'm lucky to sit here and talk to you. I'm blessed because I've got really good people behind me that believe in me, that have created, the wake up call.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, if people, it's strange, man, because looks can always be deceiving.
Oh yeah.
And with everything we got going on in the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's rough and tough out there, and things are going to change in the next couple of years. So you really got to be smart about what you're doing. And if you can get a couple of people to help you with that,
exactly,
then you've got a really strong team. I really don't believe I don't ever talk politics or religion because sometimes that becomes very sticky unless you're an open-minded person, which is all good.
That's right.
But,
exactly.
The blue and the red, they didn't put this together. They didn't put you together. They helped us out in a big way. But I concentrate on what's right in front of me, and I'm learning that, you have to have very tight circle,
Yeah.
and that circle has to be full of people that can really get you where you need to be.
That's right.
So
it's huge, Mark.
Yeah, it always amazes me because you're in the middle of all kind of good stuff with the kids, with the youth, and that's where we really got to start. I mean, I'm concentrating on some things right now as well, to where I'm glad the COVID's, kind of somewhat, slowing down or whatever it's doing, but the courts are now starting to open. And they're starting to do more processing, so I am starting to get in front of some more kids. So that's kind of good. For every one you save, you're going to lose 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But if you're out there and you're able to get that 1 or 2, then hell, man, we're doing what we're supposed to do.
So good, Mario. And I respect that so much from you, because it takes men like you, to step in front and to be, a light to these guys, saying, "Hey, man, it's really dark where you came from. Maybe it's in your world, but I have a light here. And if you want to follow this light, I can maybe help guide you in some things."
Sometimes that light gets real bright and it can be uncomfortable.
It's true.
It's true. I'm sure that
Trust me.
In the light, sometimes the light can be uncomfortable. It's like, oh hell, here comes Mario.
So, Mario, funny story. My wife and I, on the way driving into DC, so we lived in Northern Virginia, and our commute was about 40 minutes coming in, and so we'd be driving in and we'd be crossing over the Roosevelt Bridge from Virginia into the district, and I tell Rebecca, I say, you know what? If they ever find out who we really are, they're gonna run us out of this town, But then finally, after being there for a while, I'm thinking, man, there's bigger crooks here than we were, unfortunately. But that was we would die laughing, but my wife's got a sensational story.
Oh, she's great.
So I'd like at some point maybe you guys.
Yes, she's great. I mean, I had a chance to speak with her in church. And we joked about you, but I told her I'd keep all that a secret.
Oh my God!
But she's an incredible woman. She has She has a really powerful story.
Yeah.
And I think the two of y'all make a very good team, man. I mean,
Thank you.
You've shared stuff with me.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, Mario.
It's blessed. I mean, the road we had to be on this road to get where we're at. I sometimes joke, but I mean, if I would have been a good number 1, I wouldn't have had 2 or 3,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, so, it's got to be what it's got to be, or else things wouldn't happen. I really believe that we're here for a reason.
Absolutely.
It's a very important reason.
Well, now she and my whole family, they have me in counseling, so I'm doing better,
Oh, for sure, man. No. I've really amazed some guys that had me on the couch as well. They're like, Mario, really? I'm like, I wouldn't bullshit you now, Yeah. But I mean, man, it takes these special things. We had to travel these roads.
Sure.
There's no way, I do have the ability to look at your child and tell him exactly what he's going to do, because I've already done it.
Boom.
I mean, basically, my studio is built around kind of me. I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy. I'm a child in an old person's body. So you know what I mean, man. We've talked about that, man.
That's me, brother.
We had to grow up really fast.
Yes.
So now we're living the dream.
Yes.
Or is it chasing the nightmare?
No.
But you know what I'm saying. But man, we had to travel that road for us to be able to know what we're doing out there with others.
Exactly.
Because it does give us the ability and the knack to know exactly where that person's going, because we've already been there.
And then having a good partner, my wife.
Yes.
Man, she's 10 years younger. I needed somebody to keep up with me.
Sure.
And so she stepped it up. But we're good partners, and we help each other. And the good thing is that we're on the same page. We see things a lot alike. Not everything, obviously, but man, we sharpen each other. And thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I told her, is there a book in the future? She says, Mario, I'm trying, Mario, I'm trying.
I'm trying.
So, but you've got quite a story. I mean,
Well, like you said, Mario, we all travel different places in life that happen. Life happens, man. You can't control things, and it's how you not react. It took me a long time to learn how to respond rather than react. Reactive it takes you places you don't even dream of, man. But learning to respond, take a moment to take a break, to step back, you not to panic, man. That goes a long way in life.
I look at the heat as just opportunities. It just keeps you sharper, you know.
Yes.
If I'm always walking the tightrope like a cat. I guess it kind of keeps me young. But
Yeah, you are young, man.
And some would say
You're younger than me, my friend. Yes, you are.
some would say that's a stressful way. But if you don't have the situations at hand, then you get comfortable, and that comfort
Scares me.
scares me.
That scares me, Mario.
Yeah.
I've had some of those patches. I'm like, man, what the freak? I got to get out of this.
Yeah,
You know,
what am I doing? Or
Yeah.
you know, and you know, I mean, I'm sure our lifestyles are fast, so you're gonna always pick up stuff that come at you on a daily basis, and then there's always the personal stuff behind closed doors. I mean, we look like $1 million, but hell, man, you know, I mean, if you hung out with us and you were at the house, then you'd be like, oh man, that's a fast pace, man. Do you do this every day? So I mean, I know your life's crazy.
Yeah, you peel back the onion on that. And
you peel back, yeah. There you go, man. When you clear all the smoke and mirrors, hell, everybody's got a lot of stuff coming in at them at all times, you know.
That's right.
So we've got the daily basis of everything coming. Then we've got our karma, that debt we're going to always have to pay on a daily basis. So it's like everything keeps me sharp, you know.
That's right. Good. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're always you're always put together, brother. You're put together very nice.
I know I'm going to cross paths eventually with you, so I'm trying to stay up,
dude,
man.
come on,
man.
Well, this has been very incredible, Mark.
You know, man, I'm.
Thank you.
I am. I'm really. I'm excited for the future because we've got some really good people coming in on the show, share a whole bunch of stuff.
Good.
You know, people like you. You know, you're changing lives, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. Once again, I really am a firm believer. If we work together, we can make all this stuff happen with great ideas.
Exactly,
you know, it's teamwork. So
yes,
I'm sure we'll cross paths. I know that you had a busy week last week, but yeah, I'm sure we'll cross paths on Sunday, and in between now and then, maybe catch a lunch, talk to you about some of your kids. Because I'm never gonna turn down a hint. But in the meantime, man,
all right, bro.
Always a pleasure.
Dude,
always
incredible.
a pleasure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And congrats.